What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Woodshed, and today we're doing a new Fireball Furnace tutorial video for you guys. Let's go ahead and get into the video. That's right, everybody. You guys heard me here right. We're doing a different type of tutorial. Shout out to my boy, Sir Clap, one of our co-leaders here, and one of our members out on YouTube. Huge shout out to Clap for one, teaching me this army and introducing it to me. Now, for those of you who don't care and just want to see the gameplay, I'm going to post a timestamp right here, somewhere up here, and that will show you guys where the attacks start, if you're lucky, if I remember, while editing this. So we're going to show you guys some attacks. First of all, here is the army comp, right? I'm going to actually show it to you here so you guys can see it in all its glory, right? So here's the thing. We start with a Warden walk, a fireball on a huge value area and target. We will go into those a little bit more in depth on what we're looking for as we get into the bases that we attack. I'm running a couple ice block spells, couple invisibility spells, 2 revives, and then 13 furnaces. 15 if you count the 3 in the clan castle and then 12 in the army. This is a hilarious attack if you guys are tired of the monotony of the royal champion charges, of the root riders, of the all dragon riders. This is something great to break up the monotony, and I've been using a lot on my second account. So let's go ahead and get into some of the replays. So this is attack number 1 I'm going to show you guys, and this one is one I've done myself. I'll show you guys some of my replays and some of Clap's, as he's a little better with this attack than I am. So what we're looking for here with our fireballs, we're looking to come in on a corner, right, and we're looking to go into a high value, high target area where we can get a lot of value. Normally, you're looking for the monolith in a big section like this, right? You're trying to avoid the fire spitters if you can, because they're really good at taking out the healers. You can't always avoid them completely, so there's a little bit of luck involved there where you're going for, but you're looking for a big chunk of area, and you're also looking for things like invis towers and poison towers. These are both rages, so they're not that hard actually. So what we're looking for right here is we're looking at this mono. We're actually going to place our warden down here. We're going to place our Coco Loon just to run into any traps for my healers. We also are running Sneezy. He just helps with the fun a little bit. Now, something that you will need to do is you'll need to place down a couple furnaces here in the back. Now, you notice there's a couple mortars right here, kind of out in front to kind of stop things like this type of charge, or to stop some of these funneling units, right? So what we're going to do is we're actually going to wait till our warden actually takes out both of these mortars. And I'm sure that they're far enough away, so as you can see, I can tell the warden's got a little further away. We put these furnaces, 3 to 4 of them, behind the warden, and they help funnel in whichever way. So what we're going to do now is we're going to wait an extra few seconds. We're going to ice block our warden. The reason that we bring 2 of them, and I'll explain here in a second when we actually get to it, is what we're looking for is when we get to this value right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ice block the warden. That stops him from moving, and he takes way less damage. So that serves 2 really good purposes. One, it makes it really easy to figure out where I want this fireball to go. And it makes it a lot easier to aim, because I don't have to worry about him hitting something, so I can invis, and I can throw them all around the map. Also, he takes substantially less damage. He has a damage reduction while in there. So, for example, if a monolith's picking on him and he's going down really low in health, I can ice block just him, and the healers will pick up his health. So what we do is we ice block him just so we can kind of figure out where we want to go. And, of course, we're tagging this monolith, hopefully with the clan castle involved. That's really what I wanted out of this. And as you see, we're going to drop that giant fireball. It's not going to land perfectly, but it is going to land enough of where we need it to. And you can see that giant core middle right there. With that fire spitter that we did get out of the way, we got the monolith, we got the clan castle. Although the super dragon did come out, I'm not going to be super concerned about that. I actually am going to ice block him again just because I'm worried about it. Now what we're looking for here is, where is our warden going to go next, right? Is he going to go up the base, or is he going to go down the base, right? Was he going to go right or left, right? And we need to predict that a little bit, and you can kind of tell by his pathing, right? So is he going to go right or left here? He goes to the right. You see he's got plenty of stuff to do. So what we do is we spam the rest of the furnaces a little bit up along this line to give him additional support. So they'll help clear out some of this stuff up here, and they'll help give him a little bit of penetration that way. So what does that mean? That means we're putting actually a siege barracks up here in the corner. I started pointing at the screen like you guys could see where I was pointing. So we put our siege barracks up here to set a funnel for our king and queen. So you say king and queen, you're sending them off by themselves with the siege barracks? Yes. We actually want penetration from the other side, so that way there's little to nothing left by the time we get up here. So this attack does rely very, very heavily on your heroes. As you can see, King and Queen go in, and we're really only looking to use their abilities when time comes need. As you see that he's already being attacked by the Archer Queen, so I'm going to use a ability pretty quickly there for him, just so he can take that out. Queen is all that's left over there, but as you guys can see, those furnaces are absolutely obliterating this side of the base, and there's getting a ton of support for my Grand Warden here. And as you can see, we're following now, right? Giant Puppet and the clone's gone through. We're just looking again for that pure value that we're getting out of the Queen right now. We have done a Royal Champion towards the top. I would rather my Royal Champion get taken than my Warden. So you notice I actually saved an Invis spell and actually saved his life that way. And now he's actually going to follow the Royal Champion here, but I don't think it matters at this point with as many of those furnaces are coming through, and this is where the 3 furnaces come in handy here at the end. And you notice we still have both of our revives, right? So Royal Champion's going in there. Phoenix is going to pop, so she's not going to make it. It looks like the Grand Warden should survive that fight against the Barbarian King, but not with a whole lot. And this is an easy choice on who to revive. We revive the Royal Champion, and that's GG's. We actually get to swag a revive spell completely here, and one of the few that we didn't actually have a ton of time that we needed extra for. But let's go into an attack, maybe something a little bit higher tier, maybe something from high-end Clan War League. Let's go ahead and do that. So, attack number 2. This one's from our very own Sir Clapbomb. Huge shout out to Clap again for showing me this attack, and he did make sure to sit down with me. He even explained it to me a little bit on stream, but he sent me a little bit more of an in-depth what to look for, so I could share that with you guys. Now let's see, can you guys tell what we should be looking for here? This is where this attack really shines, is these double invis and these giant pockets, right? So he really can't take his pick if he'd rather go for something like this Town Hall or go for something like this big compartment. Now, I will say there's way more value here because you can actually get the Monolith and plus this entire compartment. You actually can't get the Fireball with just the 2 Quakes. So typically, you don't go for the Town Hall unless there's just a ridiculous amount of value, like something like this, all the way around it. And sadly, there's not in this case. So what he's going to do, he's going to Grand Warden here towards the bottom. And you guys can actually see, this is the downside of this attack. He just placed his first troop. It took 256 to attack this base. So time fails. Time is of the essence here. You have to be very careful with not time failing. He'll balloon first. He will throw his Warden up there, and he's going to wait until that monolith, or not that monolith, sorry, that mortar targets it and actually moves up. His Warden moves up a little bit before he starts placing these furnaces. That way he doesn't have to worry about the splash damage. That's going to be tremendous out for him. He's going to get a little bit of value here. And he's actually going to Ice Block and Fireball earlier than I would in this scenario. But he also is a little bit more conservative with his furnaces when he places them. I'm a lot more fast and loose. You see he already hits it only 30 seconds into his attack. I mean, what he's going to do is going to invis. He's actually even going to invis the Monolith. And look at that value right there that he's going to hit. Plus the double Quakes. He's going to throw down right there. He's going to get that Monolith. He's going to get basically that entire compartment. And now he's going to be patient. He's going to be way more patient than I would. He's going to see which way his Warden is going to go. You see, he only places a few because he's worried his Warden's going to kind of funnel back down this way with that Archer Queen. But he's not. He's going to go back up. So now he's going to wait as his Warden starts to kill things, right? Because he's not placing them all down at once, right? Like I did, where I kind of just, and placed all 9 of them going up, right? He's not going to do that. He places his Siege Barracks here. He's going to put some more up in the corner to help his funnel. You see, he does the Siege Barracks to kind of funnel where his Warden didn't go. That way that the heroes only have one direction really to go, which is inside right here. He does place his other balloon. I don't know the point to both the balloons, unless they're just Coco balloons for the sake of that. But even with Sneezy, I don't quite understand it, but it makes sense with only that little space. There's not a whole lot else you can do with that. So I'd rather just have a spare balloon to make me feel better. You see his troops are going to engage down here with his heroes. They're going to engage the Clan Castle troops and that Minion Prince. And this is another great reason for the Ice Block spell right here, right? You're actually about to see. So he's got, like I said, he's got his heroes down here fighting. His Warden is going to take out this Barbarian King, and what's going to happen is he's actually going to hit the Scatter or these Builder Huts 1. He's going to hit one of those here in a second. He's going to trigger that Invisibility Tower. Then what he's going to do is he's going to do something really smart here. He's going to Ice Block his Warden so his Warden doesn't go anywhere. That way when this dies, he'll retarget, and he'll retarget back to the Town Hall, which is pretty legit. You see he saves the Royal Champion down here at the very bottom. She's going to come in towards the end to help clean up that Town Hall. Not really going to need a whole lot. from the King and Queen personally. I would have rather him hit the Rocket Spear earlier when he was out of range of a lot of this stuff. But as you can see, it kind of doesn't matter with the furnaces coming in from over here. Just, again, helping him funnel through a lot of this. The rest of this base is pretty much history, right? He does a fantastic job of mopping up what's left of it. Like I said, as you guys can tell, time was a factor here. This one was a little close. That's why I'm always way more cautious with those extra, with those furnaces. That's why I try and throw them down a lot sooner than that. But can't blame him. It worked out perfectly for him, and he's a little better at this attack than I am. So I'm gonna defer to his judgment as it worked for him. So let's go ahead and get into the last attack. All right. So last attack. Here we are. With Stern Clap. Now this one is a little harder. Now I will say, to Clap's credit, right, we did task him because he had a more non-meta attack, even though this has had some kind of resurgence in the meta as of recency. We did task him with taking the bases that essentially nobody wanted, because we ran into a lot of anti-Hydra bases, anti-Root Rider bases, so he said, you know what, if we have that, we're just going to send Clap, who has one of these weird-ass attacks. Shout out Clap, I love you, buddy. And so this one's not as cut and dry as far as where to Fireball goes. Now, if you take a look at this, right, what do we say we wanted? We wanted something like the Monolith, right? That's some pretty big value right there. We got a couple of Poison Towers and the Clan Castle we're really looking at, which actually is really good value. Being able to get those Clan Castle troops out of the way and not have to worry about them is a pretty big deal. So what we're going to do is we're going to go Warden here on the bottom at some point. There we go. One at the bottom, and he's actually going to immediately hit those invis in that Fireball. You don't have to save that. You can, but really what makes this attack the time fail concern is that 30 to 45 second Warden walk. So in this case, he didn't really need to, and you notice he takes out the Clan Castle. Boom, boom. No Super Dragon, no Ice Golems, no Ice Hound, no nothing. No Monolith, no Hook Tower. A Hook Tower can be a pain in the ass for this attack. You do need to be very careful looking out for those. And as you can see, now he's just going to do his normal walk thing right here, right? But now he can live a little bit more freely, right? He doesn't have to worry about where is he going to Fireball. He can just let his army funnel, and he's actually just going to see where his Warden starts to walk at. If his Warden's going to walk up this way, he'll siege barracks up here. If his Warden's going to walk this way, he's going to siege barracks up here, and heroes end this way, right? So we're going to be able to see that, but because of this king, his Warden will start rotating to the left. And so what he's going to do is he's going to slowly clean it out that way, right? That means furnaces coming in this way. That means siege barracks up here in the corner. Perfect. And then after a swing or two of those P.E.K.K.A.s getting out of the way, he is going to start his heroes in towards this X-Bow Wizard Tower Builder Hut type area, just to go ahead and start clearing things out. And of course, the hero is going to be a big compartment, right? If your heroes are under leveled or your equipment's under leveled, this is a very harsh attack strategy for you to try and learn. I will say that this does rely very heavily on your heroes. So if your heroes are under leveled or your equipment's under leveled, you might really need to grind that out before you try and focus on this. I started doing this with a Fireball around level 23. And it started working somewhere in that ballpark, somewhere between 20 and 23. It started becoming worth it. As you can see, placed down the rest of his furnaces. He does hit with a Barbarian King with the Quake Boots, opens that up for everybody. He's going to hit his Queen ability right there. Man, look at me, I'm good. He's going to hit his Queen ability right there, going to hit all those clones. His Royal Champion's going to come in somewhere back here, I'd imagine. Because the biggest reason you need to separate them from your Wardens, because your Warden will follow your heroes, and you really need them to separate to get value by themselves. Otherwise, it's going to be pretty hard. And that's why they also use the Rage Gem, because when the furnaces, the fire mites follow them, they create a lot of value that way. So he's going to actually double revive both his king and queen right there, just again to get pure value. And there's not a lot left up here at the base. Another downside of this attack is there's not really a plan for the Town Hall. You need to hope to overwhelm it before getting to that Town Hall, which he actually is going to be able to do. As you guys can see, he still has 2 Ice Block spells. He's going to have no issue getting rid of the rest of this base. Or he shouldn't. No, he didn't. No, he's great, because that's his king that's still alive. I thought that was his queen. A lot squishier. But as you can see, he had no troubles. Couple cleanup troops. No time issues here. Boom, boom. All done. So fantastic job by Sir Clap, and thank him again for letting me use some of his footage and helping me out figure out this attack. Let me know what you guys think of this attack in the comments below. Like I said, I've been using this on Supa2 for the past handful of days, and I think it's hilarious. I think it's awesome. Something to break up the monotony, right? So I do enjoy it. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks, everybody.